Hey, my name's Eric Kurtz. I am an educator in Northeast Ohio. This is my 34th year in education. I've been doing this a long time. I started off as a middle school math teacher, and now I'm an ed tech coach. I work at a regional service center part-time. I technically retired last summer, but came back part-time this year. And then on the side, I travel all around the country, all around the world, actually, doing keynotes and workshops and trainings and supporting schools. So, so excited to be here chatting with you today.
Welcome back, sir. But before we do that, let me make sure here. You retired?
Well, yeah, technically. I mean, so in Ohio, we have STRS, the State Teacher Retirement System.
Okay.
And for a couple of years, they've been adjusting how many years you had to have to retire. So they were dropping it down while I was coming up, and I kind of met there. So 33 became the magic number. So once I had 33 years in, I was able to retire. But the ESC that I worked for said, hey, we'd still love you to work, if you want to come back. And so I did. So I retired, but got rehired part-time. So I work there part-time so I can still support those local schools that I've got those relationships with and still be plugged into the awesome things they're doing at that ESC. But it gives me a lot more latitude now to travel and do this kind of consulting and training and working with schools all over the country. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to go back, man. We first connected literally 2 weeks before COVID.
Yeah.
At TCEA, and we went to go have barbecue.
That's right.
We went to go have fatty barbecue at that, and
Blacks,
it was delicious. I don't remember what.
I think it was Blacks.
Okay, it might have been Blacks. Yeah,
yeah.
It was in Austin.
Yeah.
And we connected. We had dinner, and here we are. Can you believe it's been 5 years since COVID?
That
wild. Was literally like the 14th to the 13th of March.
Yeah,
last week.
That is. It's hard to wrap our brain around that, but you're right.
Yeah.
I remember we had a great meal there. That was fantastic. Yeah.
So,
oh my gosh,
it's been a minute, man. It's been a minute, and since then, I mean, there has been a paradigm shift in education, which is in the world, not just in education.
Absolutely.
AI.
Oh yeah.
Now, I would have never imagined AI being at the grand scale it's at now. Nevertheless, even knowing what the heck AI was back then and where it is now. But here we are, and things are getting a little bit easier for us to focus on the things that matter most through the use of prompting and large language models and that. But now we have chatbots. These chatbots that we could program to take on personas and roles and do things for us. Not quite an agent, but along those lines. And you, sir, have one heck of a library for Google Gemini Gems, right?
Yeah.
Talk to us a little bit about, well, if you had to define a gem, because everyone kind of defines it in a different way, but it's essentially the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, it is fair to say that a gem is a custom AI chatbot. I usually just tell people it's a saved prompt. That's the easiest way to wrap your brain around. Yes, it's more than a saved prompt, but basically I say, hey, if you're using Gemini and you've got this awesome prompt that you love to use over and over and over again, and you don't want to always have to find it and copy it and paste it, wouldn't it be nice if you could just save your favorite prompts? That's what a gem basically is you're saving a prompt. Now, yeah, there's a little more settings you can do in it. What really, though, separates it was back last September, Google finally, for education, gave us the ability to share gems.
The prompt.
So
finally.
Yeah, I mean, prior to that, you could create gems. And so, I mean, I didn't push them a whole lot before that because I'm like, yeah, this is convenient. Save a gem. I had a bunch that I used for daily tasks, but that was the end of it. It couldn't leave your Gemini experience. And so they added the ability to share them. And that's when it all changed. That's when I'm like, okay, we can now have folks creating high quality gems that are going to support, math or science or ESL or whatever the thing is, and make them available to their colleagues or to their students or to other people who maybe don't feel as comfortable generating this prompt. Or say, hey, these are gems that we've approved and vetted as a school district. And you can attach files to them. So maybe we've attached our standards, our curricular maps, our resources. So we can say, this is our own personalized collection of vetted AI chatbots, gems that you can use within our school. And so I got really excited about that. And I was like, you know what? There needs to be an easy way for people to share these and, find them. And Google, they definitely started, and I appreciate that, in Google Classroom. They put about a dozen or so that if you clicked on, it basically would open up a Gemini prompt into Gemini, and that was cool. But I'm like, okay, that's great, but we need a lot more than that. And so that's where my collection came from, as I started building out a collection of gems to share.
How many gems do you have in this collection, this library, if you call it?
So at the moment, the website is edugems.ai, so edugems.ai. As of this morning, there's 115 gems on the site. So, yeah, and I mean, I know a year from now, that'll seem quaint. I'll be like, can you believe there used to be 115 and now, whatever. But the point is, it has been growing consistently. So I try to put out, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 a week, so because I really want to test them. I don't want to just be like, oh, here's a fun idea. Let's make a gem and throw it out there. So when I do come across ideas, which some of them are ones that, I've thought about and said, oh, that sounds like a valuable thing. Honestly, most of them are coming from requests. People are sending me emails saying, hey, Eric, I would love it if there was a gem that supported kids in the DECA program, or I wish there was gems that helped with, XYZ, whatever it might be. And I'm like, that's a cool idea. And then I start investigating and thinking and brainstorming and going, here's a possibility. And so then I'll, flesh out, draft of a gem, and then I torture test it. I try it out. I pretend I'm a student or I pretend I'm a teacher, and I run through it, and then I evaluate the responses I get and go, well, that was good, but I don't like how it handled that. Let's go back and let's tweak that again.
Yeah.
And so by the time they get on the site, I know nothing's perfect, and they'll always be iterated. And if there's an issue, that's certainly fine. I want people to let me know. But hopefully they are really ready for prime time when they do get on the site there. There's 115 as of this morning, covering just about any topic you can imagine. I've got them in lots of different categories, from support for students, things like scaffolded learning and differentiation and accommodations. I've got a section for assessment, so like DOK level questions and exit tickets and grading partners, but all kinds of things. I've got a section called engagement, which has all of these game related gems that teachers can use with their students live in class to do an AI game or an AI interview or an AI debate or a choose your own adventure story. And I do have a section specifically just for students as well that's been growing pretty much lately. That's what I've been focusing on a lot, where schools are starting to turn on Gemini for their students.
Yeah.
Not everybody yet, but a lot of them are moving that way. It is available K-12 with built-in data privacy protection, all that stuff. And I want to make sure we have good gems that a teacher says, well, okay, we got AI turned on for our kids now. Do we just throw them to the wolves and say, go at it? No, it would be great if we could provide them with some structured learning experiences. And so there's several dozen gems that are just for students. There's a KWL gem, there's a AI tutor gem, there's a brainstorming gem, there's a project breakdown gem. There's all these gems that students can use right away and teachers could provide to them. So I'm just thrilled. I'm really excited about what we're able to do with it.
Now, everyone has their own, for those people who write gems.
Yeah.
I've got a library of my own that I use specifically for work. I'm still a ChatGPT personal user for personal use because I pay for it. But for work, we use Gemini, and I have a library. And maybe you used to do the same thing, but before Google pushed out the option to share gems, I would write the instructions and the prompt for the gem in a Google Doc.
Okay.
And then that's what I would share. Like, hey, if you're looking to create a gem,
absolutely. Oh no, perfect.
Yeah, and now you just click on that share button and you can share it with people.
Yes.
And it's just like a Google Doc or anything that lives in your drive. As long as they have view access.
It literally does live in your drive.
Yeah,
Gems are in your drive as a file. Yeah.
What is your process?
Yeah.
Do you have a framework that you use when you build a gem?
Absolutely. And so it's become rather meta at this point. I created a gem to make gems.
I had a feeling you were going there. Okay, all right.
So here's the deal.
All right.
That was not the case originally. Originally, a lot of these were ones I was creating by hand. I also, like I said, Google had about a dozen that they had already created. So I used those as whoever, again, thanks to Google, I do not know who it was. I would love to shake their hand. Whoever made those initial dozen or so that they made, really good framework, really solid. That helped give me some scaffolding to build from. But basically what happened was, over time, as I had enough that I felt were solid, I decided to then make a gem that had all of these other gems already preloaded into it. So basically, I have a Google Doc that as of today has 115 gems in it. It's like a 260-page long document. And that is attached to a gem that is the Edu Gem Generator gem, which is on the site. Anybody can use this. And so now when I have a new idea, that's usually what I do now. I literally go to that Edu Gem Generator gem and I say, okay, here's my thought. Either just here's a little nugget of a thought, or I've already brainstormed 12 key things that need to happen, and I do a brain dump into it. So whatever way, whether it's a little or paragraphs full of stuff that I've already thought through, I give it to that, and then its job is to check things like, okay, who's the audience, who's using it, who's the user, and then who is the ultimate audience of what it generates, what's the input, what's the output, what's the personality, all of those things. And so it makes sure that we are checking off the critical components of a well-formed prompt. And it's comparing it to the 115 gems already there and saying, you know what? We're going to pull this from this gem. We're going to grab this piece from this one. Oh, this one handles that really well. Let's, repurpose that. And then it will generate for me, after all those back and forth conversations, the rough draft of the gem. And then that's when I put it into Gemini and I go to town. I start testing it, I start running through it, and then based on how it responds, I go back and I tweak things and flesh it out from there. And anybody can use that gem. And I've had people contact me, and that's when I do my trainings, I absolutely point them to that, because I do a whole session just on creating gems, and that's where we wind up at, is using that gem. And people will tell me, yeah, absolutely, they love it. They use that, and it's allowed them to create these amazing gems very quickly, very easily, but with a lot of human involvement. None of the gems on the site are something where you're just going to go, click the gem, put in like a grade level, and it just goes and just creates the thing. Every one of these is a back and forth, human in the loop. You're intimately involved in the process. And at the end, it even still says, and what do you want to do with it now? What do you think? Should we change it a little bit more? So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, there's a lot of work, a lot of back-end stuff that goes on to creating any custom chatbot, any saved prompt, as you named it earlier. And for a lot of people, it was daunting. I'd rather it might even be easier for me to just prompt the same thing all the time. But now that you have this library, it's pretty much done. Now, what was your first gem on that library? Do you recall?
No. It's going to be something like, it's going to be a basic one. It's going to be create a rubric. It's going to be create a lesson plan. It would have been one of those low-hanging fruit. If you've got any sort of chatbot library, you have to have these dozen or something. It was gonna be one of those. I do not recall which one it was at this point, but it absolutely would have been one of those entry-level ones that everybody has to have, or else you don't have a library if you don't have those. So
strangest request for a gem. Do you have one that's like, ugh, I never thought about that, or nope, not doing that?
Well, I have not had any gems that I was like, well, that sounds like a bad idea.
Yeah.
But no, take for example, the one where somebody asked me, do you have any gems to support students in the DECA program? That's like students in the business programs that are competing.
CTC.
That's an example of that. Like, I never would have thought of that. Like, I just, I should have, but my brain hadn't gone there yet. And I thought, that's a great idea. So the one I developed for that. And again, part of it is I don't always know enough about these programs. Like, I don't actually know what all they do in the DECA program. And so I had to research that and learn, so they do these things where they stand in front of this panel and they give them a problem that they need to solve. They give them 10 minutes to come up with a solution, and then they have to give an oral presentation on it. I didn't know that that's what they do. Yeah. And so basically, that's screaming out to be a gym. And so that's what it is. It is a gym where basically the gym generates, the issue, the problem, the scenario, and the student has to actually do the thing. They have to then step aside and think about it and come up with their proposal. Then they come back and they give their proposal, and then it interviews them on it. It replicates the entire process. That's perfect. That's exactly what they need. And I've already gotten teachers already telling me, oh my gosh, I love this gym. This is perfect for my students in this program. But the thing is, I wouldn't have thought of it. So this is so much about community. Anything that's going to succeed really needs to be about community working together. And yeah, sure, maybe I'm leading the charge by putting this site together, but it's only going to succeed because people are not only suggesting ideas, but they're submitting gems. There's amazing people all over who have been sending gems in. I've got a forum on the site, and they've been creating them and freely sharing them. Now, a lot of times, I'll make some modifications to it, and they know that. I'll take their gem and I'll run it through my system of making sure it does everything it needs, and I'll do a few little tweaks or stuff, but I get gems from people all the time that are, and I credit them. If you go to the site, it'll say right on there, created by their name, and I'll say adapted by Eric Kurtz or something, but I give credit to those people because that's what's going to make this, in the end, be truly valuable, is everybody pulling together and contributing and sharing. Absolutely.
I have a couple gems that I think I'm going to contribute to that library. I never even thought about contributing those, but believe it or not, shockingly enough, they're about food. I have some recipe gems.
That's great.
I have a low sodium one, a couple different low sodium ones. I have like the too tired after work kind of thing. So I'll throw them on there.
That's fantastic. Yeah. And I do want to say also, anybody who comes to the site and finds gems that they like, please note underneath all of the links where it says click here to use the gem, there's a link that says click here to copy the gem.
Okay.
You can make copies of any gem I have on the site. You know me, everything I do is Creative Commons. Anybody can use, reuse, modify, adapt. That's what they're there for. So here's the idea. This is my challenge to schools.
Oh, here we go. Okay.
First of all, use the website, absolutely. Use it as an on-ramp. Use it as a way to reach out to your staff that are a little nervous about creating prompts. Hey, there's something there for them. Everybody can find something. Any user can benefit. But ultimately, what I want is for every school to have their own EduGems. I want them to have a page on their school website, intranet or extranet, whatever it is. I want them to have, it could be a website, it could be a spreadsheet, a doc, I don't care. But every school should have their own curated, vetted list of gems that they're sharing with their staff. Well, guess what? You can go to my site, you can click the copy link for any gem. You can copy all 115 of them and start building your own personal EduGems for your school district and then tweaking them, putting your own attaching your own files to them, making some modifications. It's all there to start building out. That's what I would love to see, is schools taking that control and saying, okay, listen, don't get me wrong. I absolutely love all the companies. We're sitting here in the vendor hall with companies that do similar things to this, and they have paved the way. They have allowed us to be able to do these things, and they're still doing awesome stuff. But we don't have to only rely on other companies or even me, you know. Build your own now. Take control. Bring it in-house. And all that stuff is sitting there waiting for people to start copying and modifying and using it.
And tweaking for the needs of their particular organization.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. All right. So definitely giving us some ideas to think about. A challenge. I like that.
Oh, yeah.
I like that for sure. How can people, what's the website again for your website, and then the URL specifically for the gems?
Sure. So my main website is controlaltachieve.com. Way back when 10 years ago, I created it, and Control-Alt-Delete meant something like, hey, I've got a frozen computer that I need to reboot. I thought, hey, let's have some fun and reboot our classrooms with technology. So Control-Alt-Achieve.com. That's where everything is. All my webinars and my help guides and everything I do is there. edugems.ai, so edugems.ai is this website. And yeah, it's available for anybody to have at. Please check it out, try out some gems, and eventually, hopefully, build on that and contribute to it.
All right. Sounds good, man. And before we go any further, you still like your, correct me if I'm wrong, reverse steer.
I was doing some sous vide.
Sous vide,
type stuff. I have not done sous vide in a little while. Now, don't get me wrong. I still think it's phenomenal. I absolutely love it. For those that aren't familiar, the idea is you take some meat, typically, put it in a vacuum sealed bag, submerge it in water that you control at a temperature so that you can bring the meat up to a certain temperature and hold it there as long as you need. I don't have a fancy one. I have a crock pot with a poor man's sous vide device, which basically measures the temperature and turns the crock pot on and off as needed to keep it where it needs to be. So I still do it. I still love it. But honestly, for what it's worth, and don't get me wrong, I'm still an omnivore. I eat everything. But looking at both of us, if you go back to when we met at Black's, I think we're down about, 25, 30 pounds each.
Sure.
It's part of that. I do not eat anywhere as much meat as I used to eat. Don't get me wrong. I love meat. I love it. But it's much more of a balanced diet now, a lot more plant-based, but also the meats are far more fish, way more salmon and stuff like that. That's really where I'm at right now.
All right. Believe it or not, from our recording in 2019.
Yeah.
No, 2020. 100 pounds.
100. Oh my gosh. Okay, so that's
a little. Wait, let's go. But 95.
That's phenomenal. That is phenomenal, man. You look phenomenal. I'm probably about 30, 35.
Okay,
somewhere around there.
I was scrolling through my camera roll and I was like, I found our picture and I went, and I went. Ooh. Oh man. But I get it. I totally get it. Sounds good, man. Well, before we go, we're here. This episode obviously sponsored by TWT Audio. Big shout out to them for the entire team for number one, sponsoring the episodes here at McCall, but also providing us with the space. These are yours to keep, sir.
Oh my gosh.
So what you are wearing right now are the 310, the TWT Audio 310s. So they come with that 3.5 millimeter headphone jack.
Oh my gosh.
But here's the coolest thing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take these off so you can see. So the pads are interchangeable. Like if they start wearing out, hit the TWT website, you can swap them out.
Love it.
This is the first thing that goes on headphones in the classroom. Interchangeable.
That's fantastic. So it's modular. I love
Complete modular headset. So
oh my gosh.
Yeah, you can swap it out.
And these are so comfortable. Seriously.
Are.
I've been, as soon as I got them on, I seriously forgot I'm even wearing them. And I have a lot of headphones, and that's very good. This is very comfortable.
And you won't really notice the difference of how much they isolate the sound until you take them off when we're done, and you're going to be like, whoa,
Oh, no. It sounds great. I know I'm in a roaring hall here, and it's a low murmur in the background.
And when connected to a computer or whatever, this activates the mic, that mutes it. So,
man, this is awesome.
Big shout out to TWT Audio. Like I said, those are for yours to keep, man, for you to keep. How can people connect with you on social media?
Well, I mean, it's going to be Eric Kurtz at pretty much anything. ERICCURTS. Now, if you go to Control-Alt-Achieve, I have a tab on my website called Connect. That's the easiest thing. Head to Control-Alt-Achieve.com, go to the Connect tab. Everything's there. All my socials are there, my YouTube. Honestly, one of the easiest things to do is I have a newsletter tab. Go there, drop your email in. I don't send out a bunch, don't worry. It's like, 2 or 3 times a month.
Yeah.
And basically it's just a newsletter that says, hey, here's everything new on the website since the last newsletter, and here's 2 or 3 cool things I've come across recently. It's the easiest way to stay in the loop on things without having to remember to go back to the website.
Kind of like a gem.
Yep, there you go.
Sounds good, man. Well, I appreciate you, everything you add to our educational space, what you've been contributing to education for quite some time now, and the fact that you were able to check the box to qualify for retirement and got pulled back in during part-time.
I love what I do, man.
Sounds good, man. Well, I appreciate you. Thank you for all you do, and enjoy the rest of the conference. You are a featured speaker, right?
Yeah, that is correct.
All right. Sounds good, man. Well, thank you very much. Appreciate it. And I will be contributing to that library as well.
Love it. Thanks so much, man.
All right. Thank you.